Not everyone scares easily. God knows I've had my fair share of scares. What was that? Here's my 5 scariest horror games of all time to play this Halloween 2021. I swear I can hear. Let's just do this quickly, okay? Do remember, this is just one man on the internet's opinion, so if you have an alternate list or things you feel I should check out or add in future lists, then do share. I can't add everything. There's lots of other things I could add as well, but these were the kind of the best bunch that I've played that I felt were quite standout and offered different experiences to fill out the whole spectrum of some of the best of all time. So let's start. First game on our horror list for Halloween is Layers of Fear. It's a first-person psychedelic horror, and it has one of the most stifling atmospheres of any game I've ever played. It's one of those games that's great, but I never, ever want to play it again. It is just so freaking creepy. It has a very good twist to add to the whole storyline and atmosphere. It does lots of clever things with the environment and the things that you're seeing. It keeps you on edge, and I absolutely hate it. Layers of Fear. Jeez, it's also got a VR version as well. Yeah. Game number 2 on our list of horrorness for the Halloween period is Mists of Aden, formerly known as House on the Hill. Man, this game is interesting. It has you exploring a house essentially, and you're going through where's essentially 5 different stories. I could take 5 different nightmares within this house. It's just horrible. It's got some of the best, worst jump scares ever. I'm just having palpitations just thinking about it now. It is an excellent game. It does rely on jump scares a lot, but I think the jump scares in it are good. There's chases, there's all sorts of things going on, and it has a nice twist to boot. Very scary game. Very much worth your time, especially if you're not opposed to jump scares and loud bangs here and there thrown in between. Oh boy. For our third game, I feel genuinely bad recommending this, because it's probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. But Resident Evil, aka Biohazard 7 VR, which officially is only on the PlayStation, is unbelievably the worst experience ever in horror. It is terrifying. If you basically imagine going to the deep south, checking out the houses and yards and different things that those kind of places consist of, and having a bunch of what would be classed as backward people in their state that they're in, chasing you around the place, but you actually can feel the height and depth of people and everything. It's just horrible, and that's what it gives you in VR. Everything is just has depth to it. The enemies have height to them. Things feel taller than you are if they're taller than you are. The noises, it's just horrible. It's unbelievably scary, and if you are the type that doesn't find horror games scary, as there are people that are like that, this will change your mind. I'll be very shocked if Resident Evil 7 VR doesn't change your mind about the idea of an experience that is virtual being scary. For our 4th Halloween scariest games of all time, according to the Integer list, it has to be The Evil Within 2. Now, you should play The Evil Within this DLC first, because this is very much a sequel. But why I specifically picked The Evil Within 2 is in the fact that it is essentially what would happen if you took Resident Evil 4 and mixed it with Silent Hill and added an open world to it, or open area, open world. And that's kind of what's terrifying about it. The more that you explore in this game, the more you're rewarded, but you're also rewarded with scare. There's quite a few optional things that are scares in this game that you can just kind of miss if you play it in a very linear fashion. But if you explore, not only do you get more resources to help you survive, but you also get rewarded with more things to make you pants. It sucks. But it is a great game nonetheless. Our 5th scariest horror game of all time, candidate for Halloween 2021, has to be Alien freaking Isolation. Probably the first Alien game to really nail the atmosphere and the horror of the first movie. It feels like most games in the Alien franchise seems to focus on aliens, which is more action orientated. But Alien Isolation is all about the horror. And when they say isolation, they mean it. It just seems like everything and everyone out there is trying to kill you in this thing. That the atmosphere, the music is on cue, and I absolutely recommend that you watch the original movie, before playing this game, just so you can really appreciate the art and the artistry that they created in this thing. The recreations are unbelievable. The set pieces, the aesthetic, the visuals, and that xenomorph, that AI, oh my word. That AI is horrible. It's so harassing. The fact that you can't save when you want in this experience as well makes it even more scary in a way. It's weird. You want to protect your progression, but you also don't want to get made and murdered by this thing. Probably one of the most advanced AI you'll ever see in a game thus far, in my opinion. I've played a lot of games, like I'm sure many of you have. Very impressive. Probably even more annoying and immersive if you play on the PlayStation with the head bobbing and the mic audio detection. If you want to add extra immersion and challenge, definitely check out Alien Isolation. It's artistry and it's absolutely horrible. Right, so that's my 5 horror games of all time that I could think of in the moment that I never ever want to play again in 2021 or any other time. If you haven't played, I highly recommend you do. So some special mentions as well. Obviously, I'd say that almost any of the Resident Evil series, barring maybe 5 and 6, are great picks for like horror, stifling atmosphere, and so forth. I didn't want the list to be like 30 or 50 games, so I couldn't put everything in there. So Resident Evil Classic, if you're not too keen on the tank controls and things like that, then definitely check out the remakes. Mr. X is something to behold in Resident Evil 2, just following you and harassing you. Resident Evil Village as well was close, but I felt like it's very action based mixed with horror. There's some great horror set pieces and stuff in there, but it is quite a hybrid of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7. But a great pick as well if you want something that's a little bit more action. Same with Dead Space as well. Very stifling, very scary, lots of jump scares. But yeah, could only fit so many things. So Dead Space is in there as a special mention, as well as the Silent Hill series. How could we not mention Silent Hill? With Silent Hill though, it's trying to get the best version. You either need to get it on PC and then mod it, or you get the PlayStation 2 version, or what have you, which you need PlayStation 2 hardware for that. The collection edition is messed up, so it's a bit of a problem. And also a special one as well, I would say is BioShock and BioShock 2. They're actually quite scary single player experiences in their own way, very good atmosphere. Some might say they're not necessarily really full-blown horror, so it's hard for me to put it in there, but I want to mention it nonetheless. And then for multiplayer people out there, you can check out things like Plasmaphobia, which has just been updated with a bunch of new ghosts and new locations, and obviously the evergreen content creator's favorite friend, Dead by Daylight as well. Okay, so what do you think of the list? Is there any games that you feel like should absolutely be in the top 5? I mean, obviously it's got to be based on stuff that I've played, but maybe there's some suggestions that you have. What are you playing right now? Are there any classics or any of these that you're playing or experiencing for the first time, or are you planning to play any of these now? And yeah, let me know of any horror games that are just come out that I should be checking out that you think would be a great experience, at least for content's sake. And check out one of the videos on the screen that should be there now. And thanks for watching, man. Hope it wasn't too scary.